You guys wanna let's take a look at let's take a look at SPY basically, and just look at how we actually went up so high. I think the main resistance that I had in SPY was basically 410. I think I mentioned also on the stream that 410 was the main level to watch. I think closing over 410, there was a big possibility of gapping down tomorrow. So I think maybe we see something like that tomorrow. Maybe we see like a little reversal tomorrow. I do think also that if we don't reverse tomorrow, we're probably gonna do like a small consolidation around this area, and then on Friday, we're gonna keep actually running. If you look at the 4 hours, we're basically gaining a lot of buying pressure right now on the 4 hours. We also break the zero levels, and we ended up actually going up pretty high. What's the next? Yeah, the next level that we need to look at is basically those 2.67. I think that's maybe where we're gonna hit. There's also this 420s that we have like a little gap pending in to fill, so maybe we hit there. So we need to see that anyway. Anyway, let's take a look at the plays from today. Um, the main things that I actually went in today was basically the stuff that I mentioned yesterday. I went with basically four Bank of America and WVD. Those are the three that I was actually sorry, WVD. Those are the three that I was actually looking yesterday, and all of them actually did pretty good. The main one for me was basically Bank of America. I mentioned yesterday that there was a lot of dark flow on this one. You can actually see it on the dark pool section on initial well. There was a lot of it, a lot. I actually mentioned it yesterday that banks usually run on FOMC date, and that's actually what happened. We basically had continuation on that flag. Morning, we reversed down to those 35.14, 35.10, and then I saw it basically start breaking levels to the upside. My DT must start getting bullish, and I went in. I think I went in at those. I think it was 35.20, 35.25. Basically broke all the levels that I had from before, and did I think it did 85% on the first half an hour. You can actually see it here. Basically went from 35.25 all the way to those 35.88. We play, I think it was 35.50 on this one, and I was literally the same play from yesterday. If you see yesterday, we literally played the same thing around here. The breakout on that flag, we basically did the same thing. We actually bounced from the same level and ended up doing 85% on the first on that first round. After that, just basically went with the market, and the final percentage was 209% on that one. That was actually a pretty good one. The next one, basically four. I mentioned yesterday that four was fully out of that big trend, so I was actually expecting a little more continuation on this one today, and he ended up actually doing it. Even basically did it opening. So we ended up opening around here at those 13.55, which is basically the trigger that I had. He broke it up and went all the way to the second one, which is basically 13.76. That little movement from there to here, it gave us around 25%. I scale out that level, ended up taking profits, and then reversed back down. I know some of the guys actually jumped back in when it touched the top of the previous box, and ended up actually doing. I think it did over 100%. Let's see. No, sorry, 71%. So it wasn't that bad. I still see it going up a little more. I think there's a possibility of breaking those 14s tomorrow, maybe going to 14.10s, 14.15. So this one actually looks really good for continuation. The other one that we had was basically WVD. This one actually took a little longer. We had this flag on the hourly. We tested the top opening, break it up, and ended up actually reversing back. My stop loss on this one, I think I put 1465, but we never made it there. So it basically bounced from there, went up, then bounced back up on top of the trend. You see how the trend actually became support, and then it actually took off of the market. I think on this one, we did on that first movement all the way to 1504, we did around 30%. After that, with the market ended up actually going to 1545 and ended up closing at 126%. That was actually a pretty good one. The main thing on this one before, mentioned it yesterday, was basically the flag that he had on the hourly. So was actually a pretty good play. I think there's more to come on this one. Same thing as 4. I think that we're probably gonna get a little more continuation on this one tomorrow. So if I might update the levels tomorrow and just put it for the end of the list and see what happens. But I do like it for tomorrow too. Still. Then we have Snap. Snap actually had earnings yesterday. Ended up actually dropping down. We bounced for this bottom of the box here, which is basically 972, which is the lowest that we went. You see over here, we actually made a pretty good support there, and I call Snap once that we recapture that trend. 10 tends to be a pretty hard support resistance Snap, and once that we recapture it, we basically start going up. This one, I think we went in here at those 998 and ended up going over here 1036, 1037 on those first two candles, and I think we ended up doing around 35% on that movement. So it was a pretty good trade, this one. I do believe there's more to come for Snap. I do believe that they did good in earnings. I didn't do that bad. So I'm expecting probably a little more movement in Snap tomorrow. Alright, so the stuff that I'm looking for tomorrow, I'm going to be looking at T, Pfizer, and WVA. T is kind of like a stock right now in an ascending triangle. It actually did pretty flat today. Didn't move much today. I think it went all the way to 2050 and got rejected there. There was some flow that came in on this one. So I think this one we either break to the upside tomorrow or we actually take the levels to the downside and test the bottom. Levels to watch on this one, I'm gonna be looking at 2026 for calls. Breaking down one, the next one is gonna send us to 2034, and after that we basically had 2038. For puts, I'm gonna be looking at 2017, which is actually a pretty good support right now. Breaking down from there is gonna send us to 2011, and then we had those 20s, which is basically a pretty good support. You see, we have basically a bottom of the box actually trending around there. Main support is gonna be around those 20s, which is also the trend. Let's take a look at our pool on this one. We don't have so many orders as yesterday, but there's a pretty good accumulation around those 2030s, 2020s. If you see, we actually have a lot of accumulation on that. We basically had 3 days already on it, so maybe we get a major movement tomorrow. There's still a little gap to fill, like yesterday, so maybe we actually drop down and start filling that gap at those 1950s. MACD demo, the 4 hours is actually really small, showing really small buying pressure right now. So maybe there's a possibility of actually breaking to the upside and moving up. Again, 2026 for calls, 2017 for puts. Alright, next one I'm going to be looking at is going to be basically Pfizer. This one basically bounced from the bottom of the daily a couple days ago when they have earnings. If you see over here, we had this trend since June 20, so it's actually a pretty good support. Right now we are trending extremely low on the daily regarding MACD DEMA, so I think this one is probably gonna have a little bounce in the next couple days. Also having an inside day, so I'm expecting a little more volatility on this one. 4 hours, we just crossed to the upside with that bounce on earnings. With trending a little higher, so maybe there's a small reversal. There's also bearish flow that came in on this one. Let's see, I think it was today. at opening over here. 42 puts that came in for Friday. Still, I think I'm gonna probably follow the level, since we also have kind of like a symmetrical triangle in the hourly. You can see it better here, so it can go either way. Levels for this one, 44.18 for calls, which is this level over here. After that, we're gonna have the top of the box at 44.29, and then we're gonna have 44.44. For puts, 43.90. There's a lot of resistance / support there, so I think if we break that, we're probably gonna lose. We're probably gonna drop extremely hard. So the next is gonna be 43.76, and after that, we're gonna have the bottom of the trend, which is basically 43.68. Again, symmetrical triangle, so it can go either way. Let's take a look at dark pool on this one. I think this one also have a lot of dark pool. There we go. That came in at the end of the day. So I'm expecting a little movement on this one, a little more movement on this one. You can see it here, a lot actually. We also have a lot of accumulation from the previous day. At those 43.70s, 44.16. So I think we're probably gonna see a nice movement tomorrow. Again, the main take is gonna be the inside day. So I'm expecting a little more volatility, and then symmetrical triangle on the hourly. 44.18 for calls, 43.90 for puts. The final one on my list is gonna be basically Walgreens. We haven't traded this one in a long time. Actually, it was extremely volatile today. Ended up actually dropping to 36 and bounced back all the way to 37.40. So really volatile today. This one has been trending and this kind of like ascending triangle for a long time. If we actually get rejected again, I think there's a big possibility of breaking down and maybe go to those 34.23 and doing kind of like a double bottom. 4 hours on this one is actually a little better right now, but we're showing really small selling pressure compared to the previous cycle. So there's also the possibility of breaking up and moving up at least to those 38, 39 levels. Levels to watch on this one, I'm gonna be looking at 37.21 for calls. Breaking down one is actually gonna put us out of the current box, so I think we're gonna get a little more momentum to the upside. Over those 37.21, we're gonna go to 37.38, and after that, we're gonna have those 37.44, which is the top of today, basically where we got rejected today. For puts, I'm gonna be looking under those 37, 36.98 is the main level to watch. On the die is gonna send us down to 36.88, and then we had 36.79. Premiums are extremely cheap on this one, even though it's been really volatile. So if you want to feel safe, maybe go with next week expiration. Let's take a look at dark flow on this one. A lot of accumulation that came in today too. Looks like it's gonna be in the midst of those 36. You see, we have here 36.50, 37, 36.80. So it's between those 30 cents. I think 37.80 to 37.20. So again, I think we're probably gonna see a nice movement up. Do we have an insider on this one? I don't think so. No, it's a bullish candle. I do like it a lot because that ascending triangle. It's been trending in that triangle since beginning of the month, last month. Again, 37.21 for calls, 36.98 for puts. So those are the three that I'm actually choosing for tomorrow. I think my favorite is probably gonna be either Pfizer or Walgreens. If T actually drop down, I'm probably gonna go long on this one, just in case, since premiums are extremely cheap. I saw some flow on T that came in at the end of the day for next week, 22. This one I actually checked manually, and it's dead. It's there, basically. It's actually there, and it's 4,000 contracts. So someone is actually betting a little hard. Also coming from the floor, I've been seeing that a lot of options that comes on the floor, I think usually do good. So expecting this one maybe to do good tomorrow. They bought out 3, and when we actually went in, we basically went in at 2. So it looks really good. It looks really good for next week. Okay, so regarding Carvana, actually I missed it today. I didn't want to chase it. Do I have it here? No, I don't. I didn't want to chase it, but look at this. There's a major flow that came in for Carvana at the end of the day. This one. No, sorry, there was a call. Where is it? This one over here. 18 call. 3,400 contracts that came in. And I checked them up, and it was actually up 15%. And I didn't wanna chase it. I think those calls ended up actually closing at I think that I ended up closing like a 40%, 50%. Remember, they went in at 11.69. The stock is basically trading right now at 16.30. So those people are gonna open. If we move tomorrow a little higher, they're gonna actually do really good, really good. SoFi was another one that actually did pretty good. I actually sold most already. Ended up actually taking profits out. It was trending in a flag, and we've been trending SoFi. I mean, we've trading SoFi for a long time. I think this is the second week that we have SoFi, and we basically went with this one over here. Those 8 calls for the next week, so it was actually a pretty good trade too. We did with the average time we did 150%, so it was actually a really good trade. Again, I'm gonna be trading tomorrow T, Pfizer, and WVA. Favorite is gonna be between Pfizer and WVA, but I'm probably gonna update the levels tomorrow because I think we might see a little reversal on pre-market. I hope you all did good today. It was actually a pretty solid day, so let's see tomorrow. We're gonna